Okay, so here we go, ready for the first test for the ages 11 to 12 category, very much a geographical set of words, and I've tried to put them in sentences which might help you learn a little bit about the country or continent that might be something that you haven't previously found out about, so fingers crossed there. Anyway, let's start with question number 1. New Zealand. New Zealand. The South Island of New Zealand is supposed to be one of the most beautiful places in the world. New Zealand. Question 2. Greece. Greece. If you go to Greece and don't smash plates after lunch, you haven't had a good holiday. Greece. Question 3. America. America. The capital of America is Washington, D.C., not to be confused with Washington State. America. Question 4. Southern. Southern. And northern. Northern. The average temperature of the southern hemisphere is colder than the northern hemisphere due to the amount of water. So I've got 2 in that particular question, and that's where I've said yesterday with the amount of questions. We've got 21 spellings in here. So the average temperature of the southern hemisphere is colder than the northern hemisphere due to the amount of water. Southern and northern in the same question. Question 5. Atlantic. Atlantic. The Titanic sunk trying to cross the Atlantic Ocean. Atlantic. Question 6. Spanish. Spanish. The Spanish Inquisition was established in 1478. Spanish. Question 7. Europe. Europe. In your year off, it might be fun to travel around Europe. Europe. Question 8. India. India. The present population of India is 1,392,115,159. I presume it's changing all the time, but luckily I haven't asked you to write that number down. India. India, question 8. Question 9. Australia. Australia. It is a myth that if you dug a hole from Britain through the world, you'd end up in Australia. You'd actually be closer to New Zealand, and you'd be also in the sea. So you'd need a boat. Question 10. Canada. Canada. Canada is the second largest country in the world and is very famous for the amount of lakes that it has. Just 31,752 lakes in Canada. Question 11. Western. Western. San Francisco, Los Angeles and Seattle are on the western coast of America. Western. Question 12. Hull, Grimsby and Skegness are on the eastern coast of England. Eastern. Eastern. Question 13. Pacific. Pacific. The Mariana Trench in the Pacific is the deepest trench on Earth and is over 10,900 meters deep. Pacific. Question 14. Spaniard. Spaniard. If you ask a Spaniard which is the best football team, Barcelona or Real Madrid, he may have differing opinions. Spaniard. Question 15. Egypt. Egypt. Egypt is an amazing place to go and visit if you want to see the pyramids, the Sphinx, or even to go scuba diving. Egypt. Egypt. Question 16. Equator. Equator. Brazil, Kenya and Indonesia are 3 of the countries that lie on the equator. Question 17. Arctic. The North Pole is located in the middle of the Arctic Ocean amid waters, but almost permanently covered with constantly shifting ice from seas. Arctic. Question 18. Africa. 65% of Africa is covered with savanna, which is kind of a grassy plain with very few trees. Africa. Question 19. Asia. Genghis Khan was known as one of the greatest rulers of Asia, but the jury is still out as to whether he was a good bloke or not. Not quite sure about that one. Asia. And question 20, Russia. Russia is the largest country in the world. Okay, hope you did okay there. If I went a little bit too quick, or sometimes I say the sentence before the word, sorry about that, but I hope that it was made clear eventually. But 21 words in there. Remember, question 4 has got 2, southern and northern, when I discussed the hemisphere. So 21 there. Go back, check that they're written as correctly as they can be. Make sure your I's are dotted, your T's are crossed, etc. And it's nice and neat. And then we'll be back with the next video with all of the answers. Alrighty.